We try to keep things light on the show, but some weeks are harder than others. But just this weekend, the country suffered a series of attempted mail bombs, a racially motivated shooting in Kentucky, and a mass shooting at a synagogue in Pittsburgh. The suspect in Pittsburgh hated Jews because he thought they were part of a global conspiracy and they were bringing migrants into the country. And who knows where he got that crazy idea?
This is the president's tweet, SE. He says, sadly, it looks like Mexico's police and military are unable to stop the caravan heading to the southern border of the United States.
A lot of these folks also have affiliates who are getting money from the Soros-occupied State Department.
I can't help but think that the Democrats, perhaps Soros, others may be funding this.
You can tell the Democrats, George Soros, and the angry mob that's coming here, you either come the right way like everyone else or be ready to face the military and a one-way ticket back to where you came from.
Geez, Thanksgiving at her house must be fun. White meat only! Get that gravy bowl, a one-way ticket to my mouth, white meat! All the recent conservative fear-mongering has been working pretty well. In fact, in the shooter's case, it worked a little too well.
And he wrote, and I'm not going to read it in its entirety because it's incredibly offensive, Trump is surrounded by, and then he says a slur, as long as Trump is surrounded by things will stay the course. There is no MAGA, making America great again, as long as there is a blank infestation.
Can you imagine thinking that Trump isn't racist enough? Just sitting at home going, this whole country's going to hell with that hippie Donald Trump in office. And don't get me started on that tree hugger David Duke, Mr. For every wood cross I burn, I plant another tree. Look, I don't want to tell domestic terrorists how to do their jobs, but you really have to hate Jews to think they're running Pittsburgh. Your state is far more Amish than Jewish. You've got the wrong ish. By the way, Wrong-ish is the new sitcom coming this fall to ABC. Once again, it turns out white people are the scary ones and not the people the right keep telling us to be afraid of, like this Islamic community centre that raised more than $150,000 for shooting victims.
We just want to know what you need. You know, if it's more money, let us know. If it's people outside your next service, you know, protecting you, let us know, we'll be there.
Sounds like an ISIS plot to me. Yeah. They're always hanging out the front of synagogues protecting the Jews and classic ISIS. The shooting just came days after a Trump supporter was accused of mailing 14 pipe bombs to critics of the administration. But to Republicans, the whole thing was just a hoax.
There were conspiracy theories out there that this was somehow a false flag.
We have a false flag operation where it's a left-wing type of operation to create hysteria.
Rush Limbaugh suggested today these attacks were actually false flags by the left trying to frame the president.
It's a high probability that the whole thing is set up as a false flag to gain sympathy for the Democrats.
No, it wasn't a false flag. It was a mass attempted political assassination. The only false flags I've seen recently is the one that Trump coloured wrong in an elementary school. There's no denying what motivated the mail bomber suspect. He was a huge Trump fan with anti-CNN, anti-Democrat, anti-Hillary stickers plastered all over his van. You know who I blame? The sticker companies. They'll make anything. They're printing coexist stickers on one machine, and on the other machine, they've got God hates gay stickers. It's like you go in there and they're like, you want Calvin peeing on what? If you say so, we don't give a f. We're a sticker company. The men who allegedly committed these terror acts were explicitly motivated by things the president says, which is why conservatives are so desperate to blame anyone else.
The anti-religiosity in this country, that it's somehow in vogue and funny to make fun of anybody of faith, to constantly be making fun of people who express religion, the late-night comedians, the unfunny people on TV shows, it's always anti-religious. First of all,
you, right? I'm very funny. And secondly, what a fascinating theory. Before this, I thought the blame might fall on a right-wing network preaching insane conspiracy theories about globalists and George Soros. But no, the whole time, the real enemy has been this guy. And the only way to stop him is to stop giving him Emmys. There are other shows. There are other shows. I want to keep an open mind, but it always seems like whenever there's a tragedy, Conservatives are the ones on the defence. There's a shooting. Oh, it's not our guns. There's a hate crime. It's not our hateful rhetoric. There's a natural disaster. It's certainly not global warming. Trump and the Republicans like to brush off shooting and terrorist attacks by saying that we have a problem with mental illness in this country, which is true. But you know what doesn't help when you're mentally ill? Being constantly told, you're being lied to, you're being lied to, don't trust the news, it's fake news, you're the only one who can make things great again. Sure, Trump called for the nation to come together, but a few hours later, he was back at it.
A very big part of the anger we see today in our society is caused by the purposely false and inaccurate reporting of the mainstream media that I refer to as fake news.
Yeah, I guess those calls for unity from the White House were just a false flag. But they have to keep their base paranoid and afraid because that's the only thing motivating them right now. And that's why the right needs to be constantly on the attack, even when they're winning. I mean, don't you right-wing nuts realise you won the election? You control all branches of government. Your guy is the president. Act like it for sake. It's like if after winning the World Series, Boston Red Sox fans went to Dodgers fans' homes and their mailbox. That would be... Actually, that's something Boston Red Sox fans would do.